The field averaged 223.4 miles an hour, nearly 5 miles an hour faster than last year. We'll start in the last row and move toward the front. In 33rd position is Canadian Scott Goodyear, driving a car that was qualified by Mike Roth. The center is rookie Ted Prappis and a 91 Lola Chevrolet, the slowest car in the field. This Californian keeps his hand-eye coordination sharp on the pistol range. Inside is Gordon Johncock, also driving a year-old car, but powered by a Buick. He only drives at Indy. Twice, in 1973 and 82, Gordy's won here. The 82 win was the closest 500 ever. He beat Rick Mears by 16 100ths of a second. In the 10th row, there are 3-year-old Lolas. Outside is the 1983 winner, Tom Sneva, also with Buick power. Tom's not driven here for 2 years. In 1975, he barely touched another car in turn 2 and somersaulted his McLaren only to walk away. The center of the row is Dominic Dobson in his 5th Indy 500 start, driving a Lola Chevrolet. Inside is Jimmy Vasser, the slowest rookie in the field until he was bumped. Then he came back in a second car to qualify as the fastest rookie. Continuing the starting field at row 9 and moving forward, 2 rookies sit in the 9th. In 27th starting spot is Lynn St. James, the second woman to qualify at Indy. At age 45, she's the oldest rookie ever. To prepare for the race, she has a chassis in her living room where she sits and visualizes the 500 miles. Another rookie, Brian Bonner, is in the center, driving his first IndyCar race and first race ever on an oval track. Brian qualified on his father's 72nd birthday. Inside is Brazilian Raul Boisel, sitting in for injured Hiro Masushita. When it's not horsepower, Raul is an accomplished show horse jumper. In the 8th row, outside, is 24-year-old Buddy Lazier. This is his second Indy 500. Last year, he crashed on the first lap. He started racing not as a driver, but as a skier. A.J. Foyt sits in the center, the first 4-time Indy winner. Last year, A.J. was to retire after the race, but this year he's back, and the word retire is missing from his vocabulary. Another 4-time winner, Al Unser, is inside. He came here as a spectator, but now replaces the injured Nelson Piquet. The last time he replaced someone was 1987, when he won. Row 7 on the outside, Jim Crawford is back with the same Buick power that carried him to 6th in 1988. He holds the fastest unofficial lap at the Speedway, but problems in time trials gave him 21st starting position. Driving as a teammate to A.J. Foyt is Jeff Andretti. Last year, he was voted Rookie of the Year. In November, he married Angelique, and they live near the rest of the family in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. Paul Tracy is the test driver for the Penske team. Roger is giving the young Canadian a shot at Indy in a 1991 car. In the first week of practice, Paul got a nasty taste of the Indy walls, riding off a brand new car. Continuing with the 6th row, the 18th starting position. John Paul Jr. snatched the 1983 Michigan 500 win from Rick Mears. This is his 4th Indy 500 start. Scott Pruitt drives everything: the True Sports IndyCar, the Trans Am, IMSA, IROC, and in April, the USS Birmingham, a nuclear-powered submarine. Philippe Gache is driving in his first IndyCar race ever, the first Frenchman in the race in 52 years. His countryman, René Thomas, won at Indy in 1914 in a Delage. Philippe hopes for the same result. In row 5, it's 31-year-old Eric Bachelard of Brussels, Belgium, the reigning Indy Lights champion in his first start at Indianapolis. John Andretti is in the center with 4 previous races here. Last year, he finished 5th. John raced midgets and sprint cars, just like his uncle Mario. He lives with his wife Nancy, just a few miles from the racetrack. Stan Fox is a midget racing veteran in his 5th Indy 500. He'll start the number 91 inside row 5. He loves fine machines, like the motorcycle he customized. In the 4th row, Al Unser Jr., driving in his 10th Indy 500 in the new Alan Mertens design Galmer. On the track, little Al's as tough and focused as they come. Away from the track, he and his wife Shelley play life just a little bit looser. The 89 winner, Brazilian Emerson Fittipaldi, starts in the center. The former PPG Cup champion, twice a world champion, Emo's businesses range from automotive to oranges. Bobby Rahal is the 86 winner. He drives a newly formed IndyCar team using a Chevy-powered Lola. Bobby is both the driver and the owner, along with Carl Hogan. Continuing outside the 3rd row, the 9th starting spot. Rick Mears driving for Roger Penske. His car is a Penske chassis with a second-generation Chevrolet. Last year, he won the Indianapolis 500 for the fourth time. 2 weeks ago, Rick was in this horrifying crash, sliding down the backstretch upside down. But miraculously, he walked away. Rick suffered a small fracture to his right wrist that makes it difficult to get out of the car, but doesn't affect his driving. 42-year-old Danny Sullivan is Al Unser Jr.'s new teammate. He'll drive a Galmer powered by a Chevy. In 1985, Danny was chasing Mario Andretti for the lead when he spun, but then came back to win. After a race, he can't wait to get home to Aspen, Colorado, and his son Driscoll. Scott Brayton held the one-lap record here in 1985. He'll drive a Buick-powered car like the one that gave him that record. Scott enjoys hosting groups visiting his garage, drawing them into the sport he loves. On May 5th, he hit the wall hard, but the crew repaired the car in time to qualify. Outside row 2 is Michael Andretti. Michael led the most laps in last year's race, 97. He is here with the new Ford engine designed for his Lola. He's written a kids' racing book that he shares with his children, Marco and Marissa. The center of the second row is Gary Bettenhausen, still searching for an Indy win with his Buick Lola. His father raced and died here. His brothers are both racers, but Gary's twin sons, Kerry and Todd, are both design engineers. The inside of row 2 is the 1990 winner, Dutchman Arie Luyendyk. This is his first race this year. He'll drive a Ford Lola for Chip Ganassi. Last month, Arie was named one of People magazine's 50 most beautiful people. In the first row are 2 men starting at the front for the first time and a former winner. Mario Andretti is outside in a Lola Ford. He won this race in 1969 to be kissed by Andy Granatelli. Mario loves motorcycles. He even tested a Formula One bike. Controversy clouded this lap 1 incident at Long Beach, where he tangled with Eddie Cheever, eliminating both. Cheever will start beside Mario in the center of the front row, driving a similar Lola Ford. Eddie is also a writer, unpublished as yet. He considers his writing much too personal to allow others to read. The pole position is Roberto Guerrero with a new 1 and 4 lap track record. Better luck than he's seen here before. He drives a Lola powered by a Buick. In 1987, Roberto was leading in the final laps of this race when he stalled his car trying to pull out of the pits. Al Unser roared past to take his 4th Indy 500 win. Roberto would finish in 2nd place. 4 months later, in a test session, he was seriously injured here. His career was in doubt as he laid in a coma for 17 days. But Roberto recovered, only to crash again here last year. This month, with racing luck and the strong support of his wife, Katie, he snatched the pole to lead the field to the green flag for the first time in his life.